Hey guys, welcome to the It's Just Wrestling YouTube channel. My name is Justin. I know it's been a couple of days since my last video, but I've been so busy with work. I'm at a new location, and I've been trying to adjust to that and the travel time, so I do apologize again. But this video is just to recap really quick what's been going on in the week this week in terms of wrestling, and let's dive into it because there's a bit of a news to go through, and as well as I'm just gonna highlight certain recaps of SmackDown, Raw, and NXT. So let's get into it. The biggest news that really dominated the week was the fact that WWE confirmed that Ambrose won't be signing with them come April. He didn't re-sign or renew his contract with them. I know a lot of people thought this was going to be a work, but there was other reports that disputed that. The fact that it was reported by other news sources such as ESPN and other major news sources that it wouldn't make sense for WWE to make this a work if they're going to be working them. Those are potential partners that they can work with in the future. So why would they risk working us and working them at the same time? Because that's just not smart business. Another person who's been apparently granted his release is Hideo Itami. He apparently asked for his release and WWE granted it. I believe he's just finishing up certain dates that he has in his contract, and then he should be good to go. He does have to abide by their 90-day policy. When anybody who leaves WWE, they sign a 90-day agreement that they won't wrestle for another promotion. So once those 90 days are up, we should see Hideo or Kenta, who, as he was previously known on the Indies, to pop up possibly in Noah, where he made his name, and we'll see where we go from there. Best wishes to him. His WWE career was plagued with a lot of injuries. He's actually a phenomenal talent, but those injuries really hurt him, and he didn't get to showcase what he could really do. More on the SmackDown side, Sanity members Killian Dane and Alexander Wolf have publicly tweeted that they're upset at how they're being handled on the main roster. Sanity's been pretty much non-existent since their call-up, and it seems they made it public, and it seems like they're taking a little bit of punishment for it, especially Killian Dane. Killian Dane was taken off the road for house shows, while his other teammates, Eric Young and Alexander Wolf, are still on the road with SmackDown Live, and his real-life wife, Nikki Cross, is also on the road with Raw. So it seems to be taking a bit of punishment from that side for the public tweet. And it's unfortunate because I am a huge fan of Sanity. I saw them in NXT. They're a phenomenal talent. They're really great. Their characters are great. They can go in the ring. They're just good. So hopefully this doesn't hurt them too much, and I hope we get to see them in a prominent feud and use better than they have been. They should be, because they're really fantastic, and it could breathe life into a pretty much stale tag team division on either Raw or SmackDown. Another news coming out of the SmackDown side is that the Iconics have announced that they are entering the Elimination Chamber match for the women's tag team titles. It's really weird because on the SmackDown side of things, the tag teams for the women are just entering themselves into the match, whereas the tag teams for the women on Raw have been earning their spot. So I don't know if this was planned or if they just that there's not enough tag teams to actually make qualifying matches for both shows. So it is a little weird that they're just kind of entering them in. Probably means that a Raw tag team is gonna win. My guess is either Nia or Tamina or the Boston Hug Connection, Bayley and Sasha, when they qualify next week, because they face Nikki Cross and Alicia Fox, which is a really weird tag team. Another huge news that broke out over the week is that Kenny Omega is officially a free agent, and that all signs are pointing to him signing with AEW, especially if you watch Being the Elite. Kenny found his phone, and there was a countdown to February 7th, I believe, which is the day that they are going to make more news about Double or Nothing, their second pay-per-view, officially under the AEW brand. And if anybody has been keeping up with AEW, Cody, pretty much the Bucks, Cody, and Hangman Page have been going around to different indie locations and promoting their new product. and promoting it to not just the crowd but to the talent on those shows. It's really good. Speaking of that, the Young Bucks offered the Lucha Bros, Phoenix and Pentagon, and if you know who they are, they're fantastic people. They are like amazingly good. They done Lucha Underground, Impact, other indie promotions, MLW. Like, they're fantastic and one of the best tag teams around right now. The Young Bucks did invite them to join AEW, and it looks like they're gonna join too. So we'll see where it goes from there. Rumors came out that AJ Styles had resigned with WWE. AJ Styles has come publicly and denied those rumors. So as of right now, AJ Styles has not resigned a new contract with WWE, and I do know that WWE, according to rumors or reports from like Dave Meltzer and everybody, that they are doing their damn hardest to keep AJ Styles. And why wouldn't you? Because AJ Styles is arguably one of the best wrestlers in the world right now. A lot of people could put him at number one. He is personally my favorite wrestler on that roster right now. So I'm hoping they keep him. If not, then a good chance he'll go to AEW because he's very close with the Young Bucks, and they could definitely easily put Kenny Omega in a feud with AJ Styles, because Kenny Omega kicked him out of the Bullet Club when he was part of the Bullet Club in New Japan. So that'd be interesting to see. But hopefully he stays with WWE. We're just gonna have to wait to see where it ends up. And another big news on the New Japan side is that Kushida finished up his time at New Japan Pro Wrestling. He had a farewell match against Tanahashi, who's considered the ace of New Japan and their heavyweight division. And Kushida was the ace of their light junior heavyweight division, which is basically their cruiserweight division. And a lot of reports are saying that he is NXT bound. Kushida's on the record saying that he's been wanting to wrestle for WWE at one time because he's grown up watching it. So if that is the case, I'm hoping we see Kushida in the crowd during WrestleMania weekend for WrestleMania TakeOver. And yeah, hoping they put him in a feud with Ricochet, because that'd be the hell of a match. If you haven't seen Kushida, definitely look him up, look up the highlights. I think it's fantastic. So we're just gonna recap Raw really quickly. There's only 3 points I want to really get into. Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar confirmed they had a little altercation at the end of Raw, confirming the fact that Seth Rollins will be facing Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania for the Universal Heavyweight Championship, and that is who Seth chose to face for winning the Royal Rumble. Brock Lesnar F5'd him like 5 times, and Seth Rollins still got up. And so we're gonna see where that goes from there. Another feud that's happening is the Intercontinental Championship match has a feud between Finn Balor and Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley being the champion. So I'm hoping this feud ends up being good, so that at least Finn can at least win this belt and, you know, do something, because that's another person who's been poorly booked. And now that they are starting to listen to the fans somewhat, a lot of people feel like Finn Balor he always gets a pop when he comes out. He's over with the fans. He's good in the ring. You could easily promote him as a baby. He is a baby face, but you could easily make him a better baby face by actually, you know, promoting him and making him win titles. But the biggest thing to come out of Raw was the Becky and Ronda stare down in their promo. Becky's comes out cocky, selling the leg that she injured at the Royal Rumble. Still talking her ish to Ronda, saying that I laid you out during Survivor Series and you ain't find me, so I came to you. And Ronda held her own, saying that she's a household name, and that while Becky was on the pre-show, that Ronda was stealing the show at WrestleMania. And she also said that she's a household name and that she owns every ring she steps into, and that at WrestleMania she's gonna own Becky. And just threw the mic down and ran off and stormed off. It was a really great moment where the crowd, probably the loudest. It was a really good. This deserves to be the headline, like the main event of WrestleMania. There's no better feud going on than this right now. There is no better feud. So we're gonna jump over to the SmackDown recap, and this one's gonna be a little bit longer because I actually didn't get to watch SmackDown. So I did a little bit of research and got, saw what happened. Try to see my best what happened. Becky and Charlotte are pulled apart after a confrontation. Becky came out to cut a babyface promo. Charlotte came out, interrupted her sarcastically, made fun of her, and congratulated her sarcastically. So Becky pops her in the face with a little fist, and then they get into a fight. They have to be pulled apart, but during that fight, Becky re-aggravates her leg and refuses medical attention and leaves the building. I actually like that because it's a play to when the last time Becky was evaluated for medical reasons, they actually sidelined her and put her on the shelf because she was concussed and had a broken nose. She actually could not wrestle her match against Ronda Rousey back in Survivor Series, and it was probably the most anticipated match on that card. So I like that little play to that. So it kind of leads to the fact that, maybe she is a little bit more hurt than what she really is. In a really weird way, R-Truth won the U.S. title from Nakamura. It almost looked like it's a botch, but I'm not too sure because things just got weirder after this. So Nakamura's going for a move. R-Truth reverses it into a small package, and Nakamura kicks out before 3, I should say, but the ref still counted 3, and R-Truth is considered your United States champion, and Nakamura's trying to argue it, but he leaves the ring, and they officially give R-Truth the title, and then Rusev comes out of nowhere saying this is not right, challenges R-Truth to a match. R-Truth beats him in like 2 minutes, and then there's a heel turn by Rusev, and Nakamura comes back out, and they both jump R-Truth, and Rusev and Nakamura are now a tag team. It's really weird. This was a really weird moment. I don't know. I don't really know what to say. It was a really, really weird moment, and for this part of the show, I just don't get it. So Rey Mysterio was supposed to be scheduled to take on Samoa Joe, but Zelina Vega came out, distracted Rey Mysterio, and Andrade came out from behind and attacked Rey, beating him down, trying to go for the Three Amigos, did the Eddie Guerrero shimmy, and hit him with the Hammerlock DDT. I like this because it's just prolonging their feud, and I can't wait. I do want them to at least separate just for a tad bit, just so we can get these guys in different feuds for a while, and then kind of make it all come back. Maybe after the Elimination Chamber, put them in some title feuds, so that way, leading up to WrestleMania, you have different feuds for a title that include Rey or and Andrade. So like the United States title, maybe you can have it to where Rey's gonna go after it or Andrade's gonna go after it, and it brings them back to that feud again. This time for just better prizes like a title. There was a backstage segment where Mandy Rose explained why she was trying to break up Naomi's marriage, and that it all stems from how Naomi treated Mandy Rose on Tough Enough. At this point, Naomi was a heel and part of Team Bad, so she was really mean to Mandy, and Mandy never really got over it, and that's why when she made it to the main roster, she made it this Naomi's life a living hell. And it brought a much needed reason as why this feud was happening to a feud that needed a reason, if that makes any sense. This feud was just weird, and the fact that we got this little snippet from the past kind of like brought it all together. Like it meshed really well, and it's smart that they did that because it actually brings some continuity to the feud. They also declared that Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville would be entering the Elimination Chamber match for the women's title. Again, it's really weird because the SmackDown tag teams, at least for the women's side, have been just declaring themselves in the match rather than earning their spot like the Raw side. I guess it's because there's no depth in terms of tag teams for the women's roster. So I guess they just have to kind of like, hey, we're in it. Because there was not one qualifying match on the SmackDown roster for the women's tag team belts, which is weird, but hey, it is what it is. There was a fatal 4-way elimination tag match that determines the number 1 contender for the tag team titles to face Shane and Miz. and it was between The Bar, The New Day, The Usos, and Heavy Machinery from NXT. This was a really fun match, really fun tag team match. It was really made to highlight Heavy Machinery in a great way. You have these new people that casual fans aren't used to, and why wouldn't you want to showcase that to get them on board with the new faces that they're seeing? It gets people interested in who they are and where they came from. So now you have more eyes on NXT, as well as a new person to cheer for in Heavy Machinery. The Usos actually pick up the win on this one. I believe they pinned the Bar, if I'm not mistaken. And they have earned their number one contender match with Shane and Miz for the tag team titles. So we'll see if the Usos become 6-time champions. Then SmackDown ended on a promo basis with the new Daniel Bryan coming out and introducing his follower Eric Rowan. Shout out to like the character, the production team, whoever did it. They replaced the O in Rowan's name with a little recycle sign. It's really funny. So a little nod to that. It's really cool. So Daniel Bryan explains that he's been a hypocrite this whole time because he's been carrying around a leather belt, and he's supposed to be this vegan guy who promotes, better environment and let's not kill animals to eat our food. So he's saying that I'm a hypocrite. I'm carrying this leather belt. And so he takes the trash and throws the leather belt, inside the trash can to unveil his new eco-friendly 100% sustainable hemp belt. I'm actually a big fan of this belt. I like the way it looks. Not for those specific reasons, if you know what I mean. But the belt literally looks really dope. It has these little it's made out of wood, and it's just the way they did it's really, 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 really good. This made AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton, and Mustafa Ali all come out, and they all have their own individual promos on the mic. Samoa Joe actually comes out last and destroys everybody, to the point that I think Randy Orton broke character. If you watch a highlight from it, you just see him like, damn. It was like Samoa Joe on the mic is gold. It's funny. But it all goes down. They're all scuffling. They're all battling. They're all fighting each other. You see Daniel Bryan get out the ring and just stand on the top of the announce table screaming in the microphone like, none of you are going to take this belt away from me. Triple H pops up on the Titantron to say that he will be defending his new belt at the Elimination Chamber match against the people in the ring, who are Samoa Joe, Jeff Hardy, Mustafa Ali, Randy Orton, and AJ Styles, all in an Elimination Chamber match. So your two main events for Elimination Chamber have been set. You have your tag teams and your tag team Elimination Chamber match for the women's tag team titles, and now you have the Elimination Chamber match for SmackDown with that should be a hell of an Elimination Chamber match. One of the best ones, hopefully one of the best ones we'll see in the future. So that was a quick SmackDown recap. Besides the weird Nakamura bit, R-Truth bit with the United States title changing hands, SmackDown really made me want to watch Elimination Chamber, especially that main event with all 6 guys in that ring. I think in the Elimination Chamber match should be a hell of a show. So we're gonna jump into NXT now. Now NXT usually during a takeover event, it's nothing really eventful. They usually just recap what happened on the takeover event. So there was a lot of Takeover Phoenix recaps, and showing them what they did and who won and where the feuds are going. So nothing really major to talk about in NXT. There were 2 matches. You had 2 tag team matches. It was the Sky Pirates, the team of Io Shirai and Kairi Sane, versus 2 of the 4 horsewomen of MMA, Jessamyn Duke and Maria Shafir. They are still fairly green. They obviously have been progressing in their training, because this was a nice little showing from them. But this also highlighted how good Kairi Sane and Io Shirai are in a tag team because of the amount of experience that they have. They were tag team partners in Japan, and they just recently put them together in a tag team in NXT, and you could tell that they mesh so well together. Io Shirai and Kairi Sane have some crazy chemistry together, and they had a really good showing with the 2 of the 4 horsewomen of MMA. I'm not saying that this was like a 5-star match or anything. It's just it was good for both. It was a good showing for both teams, and it especially showed the progression of Jessamyn Duke and Maria Shafir, who eventually are going to be put into a major feud on the main roster, with it being the 4 horsewomen of MMA: Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler, Jessamyn Duke, and Maria Shafir, against the 4 horsewomen of WWE: Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, Charlotte, and Bayley. So cheers to the future, because that should be a fun match as well. At the end of NXT, there was a quick 10-minute tag match between the Forgotten Sons and the Street Profits. A nice tag match, showcased both teams fairly well. There was this huge spot that I want to talk about with Montez Ford doing a tope over the top rope. I mean, the height that he got on that thing was like crazy. Pretty sure if anybody follows TD Wrestling on Twitter, they have a gif of it. It's just this dude off the vert was just like insanely, like the height he got on it was just insane. So definitely check that out. So before we end this, just remember that Halftime Heat is on tonight, guys. It's gonna be Aleister Black, Velveteen Dream, and Ricochet versus Ciampa, Gargano, and Cole. So Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, and Adam Cole facing Aleister Black, Velveteen Dream, and Ricochet in a 6-man tag match. Probably gonna be an empty arena match, because that's what they did with last time with The Rock and Mankind, so it should be fun. Before I head out, I just want to give a really quick shout out to my boy Brian. He is actually a Twitch content provider, so if you want to just try to support him really quickly, he's at twitch.tv/GorillaProLive, and his Twitter is pro_gorilla. He streaming Resident Evil. He's really working hard right now on Call of Duty, so big shout outs to him, and a big shout outs to you guys. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for all the people who have been with me so far, and looking forward to putting out more content. And yeah, cheers to the future, guys. Thanks.